Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whether you're all watching this one. This is the big one then. Probably the best fight card of the century that's been touted. This is the Aston card for Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol, the rematch for the undisputed light heavyweight titles. The best fight in boxing still. Best fight in boxing, and it proved that in the first fight. And I can't wait for the rematch. I really can't wait for the rematch. Two elite fighters as well. And but we won't be just predicting this. We'll be predicting the undercard as well, which we are gonna get on with straight away. But this is all for 1999, by the way, on the zone. Great price, well worth the price if you ask me. Especially with what we have on the card as well. But let's get straight into it then. Starting off then for the interim WBO World Light Heavyweight title. Joshua Buatsi takes on the well-experienced Callum Smith. 30 wins, 2 defeats for Callum Smith. Josh Buatsi, 19 wins, 0 defeats. I mean, Josh Buatsi's going to be favourite in this fight, in my opinion. I think Buatsi will be favourite in this fight. Callum Smith suffered a beating of Artur Beterbiev, got destroyed by Beterbiev when he faced him. It's all about what do the Smith family have yet, because we don't be seeing you Smith fight on the Who Band Ben card. How much does he have yet as well? I personally don't like this fight with Tom Smith. I really don't. I don't think Tom Smith has earned this fight either, in my personal opinion. People will say that's criticism. But Tom Smith has done this fight because of his name. Let's be real. Has he really earned this fight? No, in my opinion. Tom Smith, okay, he came back in a warm-up fight where he's fighting on before the Bell Matchroom show, and he got knocked out, fair play, but that was someone that was picked up from the sides of the bins, But Buatsi, I don't think it's a hard one. I don't think it'd be easy for Buatsi, because Callum Smith's still Callum Smith at the end of the day. But for me, I don't fancy Buatsi in this fight. I would expect Buatsi to win. And if Buatsi doesn't win, then maybe we underestimate Callum Smith, and maybe Callum Smith still got a lot yet. But I just think Buatsi's movement, volume of punching as well, I think that's going to be too much for Callum Smith to deal with. Because Buatsi doesn't have speed on his side, in my opinion. Callum Smith will be more looking to use his reach, looking to try and trust Buatsi into his fight. But for me, I think Callum Smith gets stopped, in my opinion. I think Buatsi wins in the 10th round. I actually think Buatsi's volume, punching, his speed and movement will be too much for Callum Smith in the end as we head into the final 3 rounds of the fight. And I think that is my prediction, Buatsi to win in the 10th round for me. But who knows? We just don't know how much Callum Smith's got yet, do we? But he came back in the 6th round fight, Callum Smith. That's why I've done for Buatsi to win in the 10th round. Just after 6 rounds, I think Callum Smith will start to tire. I really do. So, but anyways, on to the next fight then. This should be a cracker. This is a true 50-50 pick and fight for me for the interim WBC World Super Welterweight title. Artur Ortiz Jr. versus Israel Madrimov. Madrimov 10 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw. The 1 defeat came against Terence Bud Crawford, not shaming that. Well, Artur Ortiz Jr. still undefeated, quite fortunate to be still undefeated. So as Arthur Borchuk. did beat Artur Ortiz Jr. in my opinion. This was fight of the year, one of the fight of the year contenders, and it was. It was a very close fight, but I thought Artur won that fight against Ortiz Jr. And this is a true 50-50 pit and fight for me. Could go either way, this fight, 50-50. It's going to be a very close point decision as well. This is going to be all about who stores the more random punches for me. And two great fighters, two good fighters. Tough one to call. But I actually fancy Madsimov. I do fancy Madsimov to win this fight on points. I think Madsimov will do more than enough to win the fight against Artur Ortiz Jr. in my opinion. I've done for Madsimov to win on points for me. It's a hard one though. It's so tough to call. But I think Madsimov will just edge it against Ortiz Jr. in my eyes. Anyways, Madsimov to win on points, in my opinion. Up next then, and finally, in our time range, Artur Stevenson will finally be in the UK time range for the first time. He'll be fighting Floyd Storefield for the WBC World Lightweight title. Complete mismatch for me. Complete mismatch, especially after seeing Floyd Storefield. Fair play to him. Storefield's taking the paycheck, really. Taking the paycheck. And who wouldn't, by the way? And who wouldn't? And Storefield's undefeated, but he's picked up his first defeat against Artur Stevenson. And then Storefield can come back after that. Let's be real, he can come back after that. Artur Stevenson should be winning this fight, in my opinion. He's by far the better boxer. Levels above Floyd Storefield for me, Artur Stevenson. Artur Stevenson's been getting a lot of criticism over America for the way he fights, the bottom move style, the slick movement as well from Artur Stevenson. But at the end of the day, this shows he's a good boxer, isn't he? Very good boxer, great boxer. Do all you can to win. And I think he completely outboxes Floyd Storefield all the way through. He probably wins every round as well in this fight. Artur Stevenson as well. He should be winning every round in this fight as well. And it's all about what's next with Artur Stevenson. Hopefully we see that big fight in the US with him and Sam Davis potentially. Potentially as well. We want to see the big fights now for Artur Stevenson, after this. But yeah, complete mismatch. And Stevenson, I don't think Stevenson will win by knockout, but because that's not his style, I think Stevenson wins by points, by a comfortable point decision. But it's still good to see Artur Stevenson for all those UK fans in our time range as well. So up next then, this is a firecracker potentially between Cezanne and Artur Cabral for the interim WBC World Heavyweight title. Cezanne's 27 wins, 2 defeats, 1 draw. Artur Cabral 25 wins, 0 defeats. Artur Cabral, who was probably the breakout heavyweight last year, wasn't he? Who went under the radar with his wins over Magmudov and Juan Sanchez. For me, the breakout star in the heavyweight division for me. But he takes on Cezanne. We all know Cezanne. He's a 6-round fighter, isn't he? He always loves to get his opponent out inside 6 rounds. Cezanne, stop power. He's actually got quick movement with his hands as well, to be fair. Got quick hand movement as well, despite the size of him. he actually got movement as well, Cezanne. But the problem is, with Cezanne, his stats stand always seems to pull up after 6 rounds. And that's why he probably lost to Parker and Herd of his fights. Because he didn't do much in the second half of them fights. Obviously, he knocked Parker down. But then it was them final 3 rounds with Parker was doing more of the work. Which is probably why he lost them fights. Obviously, Seisan got that knockout win over probably a Tarkas Deontay Wilder now. We'll wait and see if Wilder comes back in boxing. Apparently he is. Seisan was probably Wilder's heard of it, probably. As much Seisan didn't do much in that second half to fight against heard of it, which is probably his biggest downfall. I didn't think Hurlivitz didn't do much either in that second half to fight. So I thought he was robbed against Hurlivitz. I don't think he was robbed against Parker. I know people say the 2 knockdowns, etc. But Parker still did more of the work in the second half to fight. If anything, it was probably a draw, that fight, probably. But yeah, as a Tabiel, he's got this knuckleball style, hasn't he? This knuckleball style, and I think he avoids them punches from Seisan. I really do. I think he does avoid them punches from Seisan. Might be one. But this is definitely Tabiel's best, probably toughest opponent so far in Seisan. But I think Tabiel's style was quite tricky for Seisan for me. Because Tabiel can definitely, obviously Seisan doesn't have the reach, but Tabiel's going to definitely avoid them punches. He needs to use his head movement. And he does in like a knuckleball as well as Tabiel as well. And he's going to put Seisan under pressure in the second half of the fight as well. And you know what? I actually think Tabiel, I wouldn't be shocked if Tabiel even takes control of the fight all the way through, in my opinion. And I think Tabiel does win this fight for me. I think as Tabiel does win on points, then Seisan, he's a tricky fighter. He's a tricky knuckleball style as Tabiel's got. Very knuckleball style, and I think that's very tricky for Seisan to deal with, in my opinion. So I think Tabiel wins on points for me. Up next then, Hamza Shiraz, that's his first. Well, I just spoiled my prediction there, but Hamza Shiraz, that's his first. May as well just put my prediction up. I did spoil it there. Hamza Shiraz, that's his first world title shot in the middleweight division against the defending WBC champion Carlos Adames. A lot of people saying it's going to be a tough fight for Hamza Shiraz. I don't think so. I think Shiraz is very good. I actually think Shiraz will be too good for Carlos Adames, in my opinion. Because out of the prettiest prospects, out of these prettiest fighters, I actually do rate Shiraz now. I'm starting to rate him now. Because he's tall. He's got a good jab, Hamza Shiraz as well, which will keep Adames off him. He's going to have the reach advantage on Adames, potentially. And I think Shiraz has got better power as well. And he's got better power than Carlos Adames, in my opinion. I think Shiraz will do more of the work as well. I think this fight probably does until midway, in my opinion. And I think Shiraz will end up stopping Carlos Adames in the end, in the 7th round for me. I don't particularly rate the middleweight champions, in my opinion. So I think Hamza Shiraz got a massive opportunity to pick up probably all the belts in this division. Because he is very good, Hamza Shiraz. He is very good. I actually do rate him in this division. I do rate him because I don't particularly rate any other middleweights that are doing in the middleweight division. I do rate Chris Eubank Jr. if under the right trainer for me. But I just don't rate all the other world middleweight champions. Denzel Bentley's probably going to fight Yanabek potentially. Or maybe Denzel Bentley might wait for Hamza Shiraz, to be honest with you. But then, with Janabeth versus Denzel Bentley first fight, I thought Denzel Bentley won the first fight against Janabeth, in my opinion. Janabeth stood, by the way. I do think Janabeth is stood, but I don't think he is stood as people hyped him up to be, in my opinion. It's a wide open division for me. It's a wide open division. This is why I'm actually frustrated with Chris Eubank Jr. Because I think Chris Eubank Jr. should actually be fighting Yara, in my opinion. He shouldn't be fighting Conor Benn, but we all know why he is. It's a money fight, big old paycheck against Conor Benn. And that fight against Conor Benn is a money fancy nostalgia fight, and it's not even an even fight. Let's be real. Chris Eubank Jr. should be winning that fight, being the more natural middleweight. So, but yeah, for me, Shiraz to win the 7th round for me. Anyways, I just think he'd be too much for damage, in my opinion. And Shiraz is very good. He is very good as well. Now on to the co-main event. Wow, what a fight this is going to be. Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker for the IBF World Heavyweight title. Dubois defending the title against Joseph Parker, a former world champion as well, Joseph Parker, who has bounced back onto the scene most recently in this past year with wins over Deontay Wilder and C.A. San as well. Well, Daniel Dubois, his last fight, obviously that destruction performance, that demolition job on Anthony Joshua for Daniel Dubois. I still think there's questions to be asked on Daniel Dubois though, because I still say about Anthony Joshua does not like to get hit. And once Daniel Dubois landed on AJ, landed that jab on AJ was done straight away in the fight. He was done. It was done in the fight straight away. Joseph Parker, for me, I think Andy Yee has a plan. He always has a plan with Joseph Parker. He came through the C.A. San tests. He came through the Deontay Wilder tests. All the pressure's on Dubois, you know. Daniel Dubois has actually put the pressure on himself. Now, after calling out Artur Usyk under pretty much disrespecting Joseph Parker, saying, I want you next to Artur Usyk, after Usyk did a job once again on Tyson Fury in the rematch. So the pressure's on Daniel Dubois here. My worry for Parker is he does take punches, Joseph Parker. He does take punches. I don't know how many punches he can take, Joseph Parker, until it gets too much for him. Parker would definitely win rounds, definitely win rounds in this fight, because Parker doesn't have true ability, he doesn't have true ability. And Joseph Parker is one tough fighter, man. He is one tough fighter to beat. And I would not be shocked if Parker wins, you know. I actually wouldn't be shocked if Parker wins. After all that from Daniel Dubois, Charles and Usyk, and he ends up using Joseph Parker. Always happens, man. Always happens. It's same with AJ, with Deontay Wilder, both of them. Yeah, the fight was signed, and then all of a sudden Wilder was it the same Sam fight where he got knocked out, or the Parker fight where he got beat, where it was all signed, and then it fell through because of Wilder using. It was actually both fights, wasn't it? And for me, he's setting two Swiss Daniel Dubois, but I think Daniel Dubois does get to Parker in the end. I really do. I want Parker to win, by the way. I actually do want Parker to win. I think I would see Parker get another. Imagine Joseph Parker fighting for undisputed after the bounce back on the scene, after beating Wilder and saying San. So yeah, I want Parker to win personally. I do. I would actually see Parker win. But by the way, I don't dislike down Dubois. I actually love Dubois. I actually do like him now. He's now coming out of his shell now. He's stiffing it. He's putting it on the heavyweight contenders as well, putting it on them. He's now torn out of the shell as well, so I do like it. But in terms of my prediction, I just think Parker unfortunately takes too many punches for me. Dubois got power, and I think Dubois will end up getting to Joseph Parker in the end, in the 8 rounds for me. A bit like kind of similar to Joe Choice did to Joseph Parker in the end. But obviously, I don't think it'd be knocked out. It'd be more for like a stoppage for Daniel Dubois. It's a risky prediction though from me. It is a risky prediction because I am not confident on this prediction, but it's just what I think. I just think Parker does take shots though, doesn't he? Joseph Parker. That's my only concern about Parker. But Parker does have better durability than Dubois. And Parker, to be fair though, same with, well, he dominates Deontay Wilder right from the first round. But with Cezanne, it was like the last 3 or 4 rounds after that second knockdown, Parker dominated, didn't he? He dominated. So, can go either way. I won't be shocked if Parker wins, to be honest with you. After all the talking of Daniel Dubois and it comes back to bite him. But I think Dubois will win the 10th round. And this, my concern with Parker is he just takes too many shots. I've watched him take too many shots. Not in the Wilder fight. Wilder had the handbrake on, didn't he? On that punch. Well, Cezanne, he did knock Parker down twice. And you have to think if Dubois lands on Parker, I think Parker's in trouble, personally. So I think Daniel Dubois will win the 10th round, but it's a good fight, very good fight. It's a true 50-50, people. It's a true 50-50 for me. I'm not saying Daniel Dubois confidently, it's just what I think. Just seeing both of them fight and both their defences as well. So I think Dubois will win in the 10th round. He'll win in the final 3 rounds, Dubois, in my opinion. Now, on to the big one then. These are 2 elite fighters, aren't they? For the undisputed light heavyweight titles, the rematch once again between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. Oh my god, I can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. The first fight was just divine. It was immense. The speed, man. The speed, they were both fighting that as well. They're both elite, man. They're both elite. Beterbiev's pressure in the second half of the fight. Dmitry Bivol's counters as well. He was so good on the counters. He just didn't do it in them crucial final 3 rounds. And that's when he get Beterbiev back in it. And all of a sudden, the judge says, we had Beterbiev's pressure in them last 3 rounds. That's why they gave it to Beterbiev in them last 3 rounds. And it wasn't a robbery. The first fight wasn't a robbery in my opinion, but I did have Dmitry Bivol winning the fight. I had him winning 7-5 on my card. I thought Dmitry Bivol dominated the first half of the fight, then Beterbiev probably dominated the second half. Definitely dominated the second half of the fight. It's probably going to be the same then. But the thing is, both of them are going to improve, aren't they? Beterbiev is probably going to be pressuring right from the start, while Dmitry Bivol, he needs to work on not to be complacent. I won't say he was complacent in the final 3 rounds, but he didn't do enough in them final 3 rounds, which obviously they were the final 3 rounds Beterbiev won. Bivol said he's got the power to even knock Beterbiev out, to stop Beterbiev. I'm not sure about that, but what Bivol's got is volume. He's got good volume punching. He's similar to Usyk for me, Bivol. His IQ is incredible, isn't it? His IQ is incredible. And to be fair, Beterbiev's IQ is incredible as well. This is what I'm saying. They're both elite. They are both elite fighters. Both elite, both world level. Both miles ahead in the light heavyweight division of everyone else. Miles clear of everyone else. And, oh my god, can't wait for it, man. I really can't wait for it. The first fight, I went for Bivol to win on points. And you know what? Bivol would have won. He would have won the fight if he would have done more in them final 3 rounds and then take his foot after that. Oh my god, it's hard to call, isn't it? It really is hard to call. Because Beterbiev, he has that pressure that the judges had in the second half of the fight. And by the way, though, that was the first time Beterbiev in his career, well, in his professional boxing career, was cut all the way to the distance. And I'm just wondering what effect that might have on Beterbiev in the second fight, to be honest with you. Oh, but then he's still so good, isn't he? Both of them are fucking elite, man. Both of them are elite. I can't stop saying that because they are. They are just incredible, man. They're just incredible. And by the way, in the boxing critics media, no one talks about these two being elite at all. They all talk about Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. They're miles clear ahead of them. Miles clear. Maybe not Usyk. Maybe not Usyk. I think Usyk's probably still above both of these. But I think both of them are definitely in the Usyk category for me. In terms of the elite fighters right now. It's the best versus the best. Simple as that. It's the best versus the best. Oh my god, it's so hard to call. And the thing is, I think people might want Bivol to win. I want Bivol to win because I want to see a treaty. I want to see a treaty between them. If we see a treaty between them and the rematch is just as good as the first fight, all my days be one of the greatest treaties in boxing history. Obviously, if Beterbiev wins, I don't think we'll see a treaty. I think the belts might get started across, to be fair. So I think Beterbiev might move up to cruiserweight. But then Benavidez is going to be win side. And I don't think Benavidez is going to fight Beterbiev anyways. Whether Beterbiev wins or loses. I think Benavidez will fight Bivol, personally. And I do agree with Benavidez as well. I'm fighting Bivol than Beterbiev for me. Because I think Beterbiev will be more of an issue for Benavidez. But then I think Bivol will be an issue for Benavidez as well. I don't think Benavidez beats either of these guys, in my opinion. And but that's about Benavidez. On to my prediction then. I think it's going to be the same as the first fight, you know. I think it'll be the same as the first fight. But I think Bivol will learn his lesson. And I think Bivol will win on points this time. I think Bivol will be the one to get the decision this time, in my opinion. Because I would expect Bivol to learn his lesson from the first fight in the final 3 rounds. Because even when I was watching that first fight, even though I had Bivol winning 7-5, I was saying to myself, you know what? Beterbiev did put the pressure on though in them final 3 rounds, and that might sway the judges. And I was right. Obviously, he didn't know I was right because he didn't hear me saying it, but it's what can happen, Watson. It's what can happen. So I think Bivol will learn his lesson this time, and I would expect him to learn his lesson, and I think Bivol will edge Beterbiev out on points this time. And then I won't be shocked if it's 7-5 again. Either way for me. But then Beterbiev's probably going to improve as well. Both of them can still make improvements from the first fight. And I thought, yeah, and for me, it was fight of the year. Mental. And they can still make improvements as well. Both fighters. And I think Beterbiev's probably going to put the pressure on straight away. Oh my god, this is going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight. Before, it's very good on the counter though. Very good. Good win IQ, win craft, movement as well. Both elite fighters, man. Both elite fighters. But I've got Bivol winning on points in the rematch. So, and underneath it there. But this is amazing, this card. It's amazing. Let me sell this card to you for $19.99. We got the Undisputed Night Heavyweight title rematch between two elite opponents. Two of the best boxers, best fighters in the world. And that's Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. They reunite it. They both go at it then in this was fight of the year in the first fight. Then we got for the IBF World Heavyweight title, Daniel Dubois versus George Parker, true 50-50 again. True 50-50. Then we got Hamza Shiraz fighting for his first world title and potentially winning his first world title in his professional boxing career. We got Say San and Artur Gabriel, two different styles. Don't at it against each other. The knuckleball style Artur Gabriel against the 6-round shooter in Say San. We got one of the future's best pound-for-pound stars in America, Shakur Stevenson, finally fighting in the UK time range as he defends his title against Roy Storefield. And then we got another true 50-50 fight in the super welterweight division between Berto Ortiz Jr. and Israel Madrimov. And finally, we got the world's famous Tom Smith facing Joshua Buatsi for the interim WBO World Heavyweight title. If that is not worth $19.99, then leave it in the comments. What do you think is worth $19.99? Because I do think this is worth $19.99. Just my opinion. Anyways. So that's my selling on that card. The best fight card, probably in the century. They're probably right, to be fair. They're probably right in saying that. So, them are predictions for all the fights. Feel free to leave your predictions down below in the comments. Will it be repeat for Artur Beterbiev, or will it be revenge for Dmitry Bivol in the best fight in boxing in